Hey guys, GoForce Online, and here to bring you another one of my trash builds. Now this is my Necromancer Stamina PVP character, or Stamcro as they call it. Now this one specializes in both close combat and long distance combat, but does a lot better at close combat. So let's take a look at the skills, or at the character. So I got 28k max health and 28k max stamina. So health would be more once I enter the PvP areas. My weapon damage sitting about 36k, that's unbuffed, so probably jump up to about 4.2. Spell and physical resistance sitting about 22k. Once I buff it up, it should be about 27. And my crit resistance is sitting at 2720. So fairly low on the resistance side, so more concentrating on damage than the resistance side, but not bad resistances of some of the sets procced. I'm using max health, max stamina food, and the potions I'm using, let's take a look here, is Alliance Draft. So this grants me the Major Brutality and also increases my weapon critical for 47.3 seconds. With 45-second cooldown, this can be up 100% of the time. Alright, so on the back bar, so using New Moon's Accolades as the first set, and the back bar has a bow with Nirnhoned trait on it. So New Moon's Accolade increases my weapon and spell damage by 470, but also increases my ability cost by 5%. And on the front bar, which is most of the close damage, I've got Sword and Board, also New Moon's Accolade. On the sword I have Nirnhoned, and on the shield I have Impenetrable, just to increase that critical resistance a little bit. The monster set I'm using is Earthgore Forge. So if I heal myself or somebody else while under 50% health, I conjure a pool of healing that heals for 32 health over 10 seconds. So there is some passive heals in the abilities that I use, so if I am running low on health, this could definitely save my health in the encounter. The other set I'm using is Ancient Dragon Guard. It's a very nice set, it's fairly balanced. So while I'm over 50% health, it increases my weapon and spell damage. If I'm under 50% health, it increases my resistances. So it works very well in PvE, so if you're attacking, you've got a high health, it works well. If you're taking a lot of damage, then it increases your resistances. Alright, so on the jewelry, I've got max weapon damage glyphs on there with infused traits to increase that weapon damage as well. Alright, let's take a look at the skills. So on the front bar, Shielded Assault is my intro move. So it'll charge the enemy, it's a gap closer at very nice range of 22 meters. And once I make contact, I get a damage shield above 4.3k. Now in PvP that will probably be halved. By having that bit of extra damage shield there definitely makes a difference. This Scythe from the class skill lines is very nice attack, definitely the spammable attack that you use, so it deals nice AoE damage in front of you and also heals me at the same time. So while I'm doing damage, I'm getting health back at the same time. Venomous Skull, so lob an explosive skull at enemy, dealing poison damage there, and every third casted ability increases the damage done by 20%. Now any Necromancer ability that you do use does count towards the counter to get that third cast. So if I use two other Necromancer abilities and then use this one, it has that 20% increase. And then Spiked Bone Shield is just a damage shield there. So it grants about 9k damage shield. This will probably be half to about 4.5. So it's basically more of a life-saving skill than anything else. The damage shield is not very big, but it just gives you that extra bit of resources or extra bit of time to regain resources and hopefully get out of the encounter. And also does redirect some of the damage back at enemies. And since it scales off max health, at 28k health, it's not a bad damage shield to have there. Alright, then Necrotic Potency. So whenever there's corpses around me, I can absorb that, get some healing from it at the same time. And while I have this ability slotted, it reduces my damage taken by 3%, which is really nice. And so basically it's mostly used for ultimate generation. So using a lot of Necromancer skills or having bodies around the floor, popping this ability off, get that ultimate going. There's also a passive that grants 10 additional ultimate to get that ultimate rating up as high as you can. And then the ultimate that I am using is the Bone Goliath. So definitely a go-to in PvP. So increases my max health by 30k and also restore 30k health immediately. So if I'm sitting really close to death, I will pop this up. It pretty much doubles my max health pool and I heal for 30k there at the same time. So while I'm in this form, light attacks also restore health with heavy attacks as well, and they deal some AoE magic damage at the same time. So very nice ability to have, very good life-saving skill, and also if you need to run into a group of enemies at the same time, definitely use the skill to enter. Now on the back bar, I'm using the bow. So first one is Blight and Blast Bones. So this summons a skeleton that runs towards the enemy, explodes and does some disease damage there. Also applies Minor Defile, which reduces their health and healing received by 30%. So if you do strike an enemy player and they try to heal themselves back up, that is reduced again by 30%. Then Beckoning Armor. So this increases my physical and spell resistance. And also one of the passives that relate to this, as soon as I have this armor activated, my area of effect damage is reduced as well. Sorry, damage over time is reduced as well. It will pull enemies from long range in closer as well, so just be wary of that. Then Shocking Siphon. So this is the skill I activate after using Blast Bones. So once Blast Bones hit the target, creates a corpse at the target, will activate this one afterwards, which deals some AoE damage there at the same time. Now while this is slotted, the damage done is increased by 3%. So this is across all skills, not just this particular one. And then Blood Frenzy from the new Vampire skill line. So it increases my weapon and spell damage by 610. It does go more with higher experience, I just haven't had the time to do that yet. Mostly I would use this ability if I activate my Bone Goliath. So having a lot of healing and a lot of health available, this one definitely just makes it God mode. And then Silver Bolts from the Fighters Guild skill line. So this fires a bolt that does physical damage. Now this is just the first morph of it. Haven't morphed it properly up yet. You also get one that deals AoE damage around the area as well. But also having this one equipped increases my weapon damage by 3%. And then the last ultimate I'm using is Ravenous Goliath. Alright, so let's take a look at see how it works. So you can lob a skull at range, use your gap closer, using that size, so healing you up at the same time. And if I need to trouble, you can use that shield. If I'm standing at long range, have that skeleton, running up to another skeleton. Using Frenzy, dealing AoE damage there at the same time. Get a chance to lob off the arrows and just making sure you activate that armor to get your resistances up. Alright, if I have the Bone Goliath available, activate this skill, which increases my damage upward there, but it drains my health a lot. Alright, also before encountering combat, you definitely activate your potion. So it increases my weapon and spell damage there, or just weapon damage actually. See there, prex my monster set, saving my life pretty much. And then just using this spam skill in order to heal up at the same time. Alright guys, thanks for listening. If you like the content I'm putting out, please hit that like, subscribe. If you have any ideas for builds that I need to do in the future, please let me know in the comments down below. Take care and be safe. Bye.